1, 2, 3, Lastly!
Hey y'all, we are Liv and Lastly. Austin, Tara, Rudy, Arlo, and our two fur babies, Piper and Gertie. Last year in 2020, we sold everything to hit the road full time in our fifth wheel. We are living light and loving life.
Hey everybody! So it's been a little bit since we did a video, and we decided to go ahead and ramp it back up and see if we can get going again on these. Work got a little crazy, so the last couple months we've been recording, but we haven't done any videos. I think the last video we did, we were in Port Aransas. Done a few things since then, kind of hugged the coast, went up through Louisiana, stayed in Gulf Shores, Alabama, and now we are in beautiful Florida. Our first time here, so it's been pretty awesome. And one thing we haven't really ever done is like maintenance on RVs, and you know, because things break all the time, and when you live in them, you have to really fix things yourself, know how to fix things, figure out how to fix things, and YouTube is a great way to do that. So hopefully, you know, this video will help someone, because today we are going to be replacing one of our vents. So we have 3 vents in our RV, one in the living room, which is the electric fantastic fan, I guess they call it, one in our top of our mid bunk, which we don't use, and then the third one is in our bathroom, and that is one of the crank handles, just kind of crappy material, cheap fan. It's broken on us about 3 times, and so we decided, well, let's just go ahead and replace it with an electric fan. So that's what we're doing today. I'm going to be taking out the old fan and putting in a brand new electric fan. So this is the new fan. It's just an electric fan. It's got, you know, the buttons here. It also has a remote. So we are going to be doing that today. So we're just going to be taking out the old one, kind of just walk through how I do it. I've never done it, so it looks pretty simple to do. You need some, you know, Dicor, self-leveling, and then it also recommended the butyl tape. I'm hoping I'm saying that right. It's just kind of the same material. It's just a tape you put over the screw holes before you screw it into the actual RV. But it looks pretty simple. So let's just see how this goes. Okay, so we're in the bathroom. This is the fan we're replacing. So as you can see, I've already taken off, you know, just the white cap. It was just 4 little screws, and that thing just pops right off. And this right here is missing now. That was the hand crank. The kids were playing with it and lost it, so I can't show you that. But it looks pretty simple. So you know, you've got your Dicor here that they just kind of put in there, and then the screws are on the top, and then hopefully it just pops right out, the new one pops in. And you just want to measure, you know, from, you know, this side to this side. Ours was 14 inches. It seemed to fit just fine, so we will go up top now and figure it out. So here's the old fan up top. You can see I already kind of messed with it just to see. It looks like this just peels off, and you just want to be careful not to cut, you know, your liner up on top of your roof. So that just peels off pretty easily. And then your screw holes right here, and you can kind of see them, and I'll just kind of remove some of that. And then it should just lift off. We'll clean off all of the excess, you know, Dicor off the top and make it all pretty, and then drop the new one in. So I've removed all the screws, and just make sure you get them all. And now it's a little stuck, so we're just going to pry it very carefully open. Alright, so I've got the old fan out, and so there is the old one. Here is the new one. So we're just gonna put some of this around the bottom over the screw holes, and then fit it in there, screw it on, and put some die-core around it, and then go inside and wire it in. So I just put the tape around it. It helps seal, so you want to put it over each hole. Alright, so it's really that easy. Not a whole lot to it, but we will go down, we'll turn the power off, wire it in, and then I'll show you guys how to cut the little white cap that goes up there. It comes a little too big, and you just measure it and cut it, and we'll do that next. Alright, so I cut the power, and I'm just gonna power these back into each other, cap them, and then we will take this. It comes with a little white cap. We'll measure it down and cut it and put it up, and it will be completed. It works. See? Pretty easy. This is, you know, the little cap that all the fans have, and obviously if you put it up here, it's just way too big. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna just measure, you know, pretty deep in there to the bottom of this, and then I'm just gonna cut it with a jigsaw, and it should fit just fine. All right, so I figured out it's 4.5 inches from the bottom up. So I'm just gonna measure it, mark lines, take a jigsaw, cut it off, pop it up. Okay, so it's not perfect, but it doesn't have to be, because it actually hides itself inside that pocket. And it would have been a lot easier if I would have had the right jigsaw blade, but got it done. All right, so here's the finished fan. Everything's up and running. So here is the remote that it comes with. This fan has a forward and a reverse, so it'll suck air in as well. And it has 3 speeds, so you literally just hit up.
Can you hear Arlo in the background?
Yeah.
Oh.
And then there's the fan. You can stop it at any
Guys,
point.
this fan is beautiful.
And then it has 3 different speeds by hitting forward. And so that's it. And then you sit down.
That's so cool.
And it comes down.
And didn't you find the same fan or one like it at Camping World? Excuse me, Camping World, and it was like,
yeah, so it was
double
like
the
$300 or
price.
$400 for something very similar to this. So this one was $189 on Amazon. It's a good deal. Easy install, and there you go. All right, so now that we have completed everything underneath, we put the cap on, everything works fine. The last thing we're gonna do is put some die-core self-leveling all around the top of it, all over the screws. You just wanna make sure that thing is, you know, really sealed in there, obviously for the rain and all that stuff. So yeah, we're gonna do this real quick. All right, so here is the finished. And as that die-core settles and levels itself, it should look a little better, and I'll put another bead around it. Okay, so that's a self-leveling for roofs of RVs. So I just put one entire bottle around the whole thing. You can never use too much, I guess. So I'll let this one set up, and I have another one. I'll do one more just around it just to make sure that it's all sealed, and that'll be that. All right, guys, so that was the installation, removal and installation of an old vent and put in the electric one. Super easy. There's really not much to that, but my hope is that, you know, somebody can learn something from this. I know a lot of you that I talk to, you know, don't necessarily like to do your own stuff to RVs, and rightfully so. I mean, especially if you live in it. But just know it's all pretty simple if you really just look at it, and I encourage you to try to do it yourself if you can. All right, guys. Well, if you liked it, I mean, if it was helpful at all, a short video, just like and subscribe, and we will start trying to put out more videos. I appreciate it, guys. Thanks.